Darn my aggressive angles. That, my friends, would be a negative. You know, who wants to do math? Oh my gosh. It just storms. They really get you, you know? Hello and welcome back to another episode of No Suit Survival. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 36. Okay, there are some things we gotta do today. On top of the things that are already on this list, we also have some other stuff we gotta do. One is we have not gotten nearly enough uranium. Even with the yield modules that we currently have on the 2 refineries that we have, we are not gonna have enough uranium to both power up a ship and also get this base to the 1500 megawatt hours of power. We don't have enough. So we definitely need to expand our mining for the uranium. And in addition, if I don't want to be here for 20 years, I'm going to need some more refineries. Because as I'm sure a lot of you already know, refining uranium, it takes a while. And we have to get through all the stone that we also have in the base. So it's going to be a process. So in addition to getting more uranium, we also need to build more refineries and more yield modules for those refineries. And in order to actually get the power generation we need, we also need to build some reactors, which means we're going to be using some of the uranium to make more uranium. It's a weird cycle, but yeah. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is build a reactor, so that way we have enough power generation to get our refineries online. That way we can process the stone faster, get through all that stuff, and then process the uranium faster. You get what I'm trying to say. And then with all of that, hopefully we can get a good amount of uranium started, and then we'll go and we'll design our ship. We got a lot of things on the docket today, but you know what? I'm feeling productive. But before we do anything else, we need to come over here and say thank you to the patrons. Thank you, patrons. I try to say thank you every episode, but really, truly thank you. It's because of you that I get to continue to create and hopefully make something that you all enjoy. And in this episode, I'd specifically like to thank That British Gamer and The Spanky, 2 of the masterminds at the top of the board there, for helping me out with some stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it has to do with the this ship design. They were instrumental in helping figure out exactly kind of what we wanted to do. More about that later on in the episode. Alrighty, so the first thing that we said we were gonna do is we're gonna build our reactor, so that way we can supply power to additional refineries. And I think that the best place for us to do that would probably be this open space that we have right here. We already have conveyor access over here, and so it just seems like the easiest solution. Let's get into it. So if you look over here, what we're about to do right now is called a pro gamer move. Ain't nobody got time to weld that reactor up by hand. While that welds up, let's talk about something. I just now realized that we are low on silver, and silver is going to be a key part of building the additional reactors. So yeah, I might need to go scout out some silver, which was not something I was planning on, but you know what? Plans change. I can adapt. The only issue that I see is that I have to do the scouting with the mining turtle, which is a small grid ore detector, which is historically not the greatest ore detector in comparison to the large grid version. But it's not like I can fly the hauler around right now because we don't have that much uranium. So, guess we're doing it this way. But now that I'm thinking about it, there might actually be silver in this mountain. Hey, there is silver in this mountain. Oh, see, we're good. There's also gold and magnesium. Sweet. All right, well, let's dig a little mine right here, and we'll grab a few trips of silver, and that should help us get the reactor up and running and all that fun stuff. So I just learned something that I thought I'd share with the class. So Izzy's has this thing where it will auto sort. I mean, that's the whole point of it, but it will queue up your ore in like its own specific way. And I think it does it by like what's needed most at the time, which is why like sometimes for me it was weird. It was like it was refining the uranium and then all of a sudden it switched over to refining stone. But in that process, it was not refining any of the silver that we needed. And so I learned that if you put an exclamation point and the word manual in the name of the refinery, then it will let you set up what order you want the ores to go in, like it would be normal. Yeah, so I already set one of them to be manual, and then all of the other ones I'll just let Izzy's do its thing. But I learned that about 30 seconds ago. And if anyone else uses Izzy's, that might be helpful to you. Alright, we now have a little bit of silver coming in. It'll still take a little while to refine it, but that's fine. I think our reactor is up and running. It is, in fact. Behold. Okay, so I'm realizing that this grid power chart thing is... I don't know how great it is for this certain situation. I mean, it's not like bad, but... I think I'm gonna use auto LCD. Let me go look up how to have the numbers show up for how much power we're generating in total with our reactors, engines, and turbines. Okay, so the way that I'm interpreting this is that we don't necessarily need to. I mean, obviously, we don't need to generate our maximum power. So I think 404 is our maximum total power generation, which makes sense with the additional reactor because that's 300 megawatt hours, plus all of our other stuff. So in order for us to hit our goal of 1,500 megawatt hours, this is where we'll check on that number right here. Because right now we only need fluctuating between 5 and 6 megawatt hours of power, but our possible output is 404. Good stuff. So only using 1% now of our total possible power output. Let's get some refineries up in here and get our production a little bit more juiced up. Well, I'd definitely say that we're using more power now. But we're using it for a good reason. I think now we just gotta get a little bit more serious about extracting that uranium. So let's head over there and get to work. But you know what? I don't want to walk. And we have this nice road here. So let's take this guy out. It's nice to have a road. Just park it right here. And let's head to our uranium mine. Well, it was working for a second. Not anymore. I probably tilted it down a little too far, but I think that would have worked. I just, once again, got a little overzealous. Darn my aggressive angles. Alright, let me reset everything and try again. This time, I'm gonna start the drills over here, and then I'll make my way back around. I think that'll help us out a little bit. All right, let's try this again. I'm just realizing this isn't gonna work. I mean, I would have to get rid of these, which is whatever, but I think this is too close, and I was trying to set up an auto mine, but I think it's gonna be a little bit more involved than that. Tell you what, man, trying to do all this crap underground is not easy. Alright, here's the deal. I keep making mistakes because I keep trying to attack the uranium from all angles. Like, there's some that's below, there's some like to the side, there's some, in other areas. So I think I need to pick a direction, go that direction, and then later on I can make adjustments. So I think what I'm going to do is, right now it looks like the majority of the uranium is in this wall. So I'm going to create just a bunch of miners that go out, and then we'll have pistons and we'll just push it that direction. And then we'll get a bunch of stone, but we'll go through it pretty quickly. And we should get some uranium from it. It should definitely make this room a lot bigger. And then if we determine later on that it would be better if we went down, then we will cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm going to ignore the small little deposit that's down underneath right here, and I'm going after the wall. Let's do it. Alright, I've been doing this for long enough for my attention span, so I'm gonna run back to the base and see how much we actually ended up getting. Okay, we got some. We have 9,000 uranium ore, and we now have 38 uranium ingots. We're not setting any records by any stretch of the imagination, but we are progressing. Okay, so what does that mean right now? Let's go check the to-do list. More uranium. We have gotten more uranium. That has been done. We did the more refineries, and we built a reactor. Not enough reactors to get us to that 1,500 yet, so I'll keep that on the to-do list. Build the reactors, design ship, landing zone, satellite dish. I think that designing the ship comes after satellite dish. And you know what? I swear I'm not procrastinating. But I also think it would be smart to get a lot of hydrogen, because right now we have, I think, like we have several tanks underneath the engineering bay over here, like down underneath. And I think we have like 2 tanks underneath in the ice mine. Let me go check it. Oh, we have 4. Oh, well, that's not so bad. Just for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna add 2 more, because I don't know how many we're gonna need for our ship, but I imagine it's a lot with the gravity the way that it is. So, yeah. Real talk for a second. We're trying to leave the planet, and I'm realizing I've put all of these like arbitrary limitations on myself. Some of them I'll stick true to, like that uranium mine. I won't come in from the top. We haven't used the seeker once so far in this whole base, and we're getting ready to leave. So this idea of keeping the ice lake completely smooth is no longer relevant. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a conveyor from over here, and we're gonna set up a nice auto ice mine, because it's gonna take a while to fill all those hydrogen tanks, and I need the hydrogen for our spaceship. And so I would rather not have to continue drilling stuff manually and just set up an auto mine and forget about it, and just know that my tanks are going to be filling and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Honestly, I probably should have made that call a little earlier, but you know, sometimes I'm stubborn. A lot of times I'm stubborn. I'd say most times I'm stubborn, actually. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we need our boy back. Friends, it's the return of Bob. Well, that is embarrassing. Let's try that again. All right, here we go. So for some reason, my welders are not welding, and I checked their conveyor access, and it's still green all the way to the cargo containers and everything else like that. So I do not understand why. Come on, man. We just want Bob. Bring him back. Bring Bob back. You just need me to get it started? I don't get it. I don't even have like anything in my inventory. Okay, well, this is being real dumb. Let me go grab the turtle welder and see if, I don't know, putting the turtle welder near the welding wall welders weld? That sentence made about as much sense as what's happening right now. So that, my friends, would be a negative. All right, let me put some junk in the trunk and see if that works. Okay, I have a guess. Clearly, through the 3 bases that we have so far, we have passed the PCU limit. Right now, I just have it so under admin tools, I just have it say ignore PCU limit, but I think that there's a setting on the world that I might need to do, because it doesn't look like anything other than my welders will do what they're supposed to do. Give me a second. All right, let's give it a go. There he is. I mean, for the most part. I think we're missing a few thrusters. This might be dumb, but let's give it a go. All right, Bob. Can I? Oh, Bob. So tricksy. I remember Feels good to be back. Oh, Bob doesn't have a projector on himself, and so therefore, tell you what, this will be backup Bob, and I'll put him over here. All right, that's backup Bob. Now that it's working properly, we should be able to print it easier from all sides, rather than just the one. Let's try that again. I do believe that one was successful. Welcome back, Bob. We're gonna have some fun once again. Oh yes, but I forgot that I need to make sure that you have fuel. Oh yeah, I forgot that on our previous version of Bob, we actually added an additional battery on the back. Let's make sure to do that again, because Bob is not pumped to be flying without his battery. Don't worry, Bob, we got you. We got you. How you feeling now, buddy? Oh yeah, Bob is feeling good. You can tell by the backflip that we just did. Or the front flip. Heck yeah. Alright, I am going to create a quick charging station for Bob, because we just used the little merge block. So I'll do that, and we'll set up Bob to charge, and I'll probably take a break for a bit, and then we'll come back. We'll make our ice mine, and then while our ice is mining and turning into hydrogen, I think that's the point where we're gonna work on our ship. Alrighty, Bob is charging up, getting ready for our next building time lapse. Alrighty, I'm gonna take a break. When I come back, it's building time. Well, friends, once again, Streamlabs has chosen violence. I didn't change any settings between the first part of this episode recording and then the next part, which was this morning. No settings were changed. I just opened up Streamlabs, pressed record, and for some reason, the screen was black the entire time. So it didn't capture anything on my main computer. I do still have the spectator footage because for some reason, my old computer is significantly more reliable with Streamlabs for some reason. We can just do the time lapse there and pick up where we left off, I guess. So anyway, I suppose that might work out in not really my favor, but in potentially your favor, because now I have to make up for lost time, because we can't have like a 20-minute episode. So I think we are going to end up designing the ship today. But before we do that, let's just do a quick recap of some of the stuff that we did. Right now we have 1 gigawatt hour of power. We need 1.5 in order to reach our goal. So we're getting pretty close. And I'm just going to come out here. One other thing that I talked about that didn't actually get captured after building this thing was I've learned something about myself. And that is that I really don't like living underground. I really like being able to build in open space. I think moving forward, all of our other bases or anything else like that is going to be above ground, because I like the way that this looks, and I feel so much more free when I don't have to worry about like headroom. I didn't realize like how claustrophobic I felt when I was playing, because I mean, like, real talk for a second, like these episodes are like 40 to like 50 minutes long, but for me it's like 10 hours or more of footage sometimes. And so I'm just constantly, I don't know, I like enclosed, and I didn't realize like how much that affected my enjoyment of the game. Because when I started building this thing out here, I was like, oh my gosh, everything is open to me once more. I love this game. I love building. Yeah, so weird that that is a thing, but apparently it is. So yeah, there we go. Space engineers teaching me stuff about myself. Anyway, this is going to get us all of the ice that we're going to need for a while. We shouldn't be running low on hydrogen anytime soon, and we should be able to get the hydrogen on our ship. Speaking of ship, let's talk about it. I had actually gone into creative mode over the weekend and with some spare time, and I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do with this ship. And so I actually designed like several different renditions of different things, trying to come up with a foundation that I could come into the survival world and make a better version of. But I kind of hit a wall. And so, like I said earlier, I invited that British gamer and the Spanky, two of my top tier patrons, and I brought them in the world and I showed them the ships that I had built, and I asked their opinions, and they ended up being instrumental in helping me come up with an idea. And the start of that idea is actually to use the hauler. This ship has already been with us for so long, and it was first the crawler, and now it's the hauler, and I don't know what we're going to call this next version of it, but it feels right to just continue to adapt this ship to what we need it to be. I promised those two, because of the help that they gave me in coming up with all this stuff, that we're going to put 2 crew quarters on the ship, 1 for each of them, and they will be immortalized in this ship. So thank you, both of you, so much for your help. I may change up a few things that we discussed, just because, you know, in survival mode, when you're building, you notice things differently than when you're in creative mode. So with that all out of the way, I think it's time to get started. But the first thing that we're going to have to do before we start grinding stuff off and adding stuff on is we're going to have to make this landing pad for the hauler a little bit bigger. Because what this thing is going to become is going to be pretty intense, I think. Let's get to it. Alrighty, we are set up, and it is time for the transformation to commence. Alright, well, I guess we're about to find out if this thing works. I'm hoping it does. We have a lot of articulation points, and so I think that it should be fine. Maybe, hopefully. Let's give it a go. You know what would be smarter of me to do? Rather than lifting those up, sometimes I feel like I might be dumb. Yeah, it'd probably be a lot easier for these welders to weld if instead of just trying to put it at an angle and hopefully just keep adjusting to get the right angle, is if I just move this piston down so that the welders can reach it. All right, let's give that a go. Well, I'd say that went really well. So now let's switch the hinges and weld up the other side. Well, that took a billion years to do. I don't know why this hinge was being so temperamental, but let's do it again on this side. Well, that was close. Okay, let's try not to do that again. Well, we are officially out of cobalt, so luckily we were able to get like the heavy duty stuff welded. We still have a long way to go and we're gonna need a lot of metal grids. So I'm gonna grab the mining turtle and we're gonna go get some cobalt. You know what? I've been wanting to try out a new script, and since I'm gonna be spending most of the rest of this evening mining, I'm gonna add a programmable block and I wanna try this out. Huh. Yeah, that is worth its weight in gold. Okay, so I'm using the XVAC OS script. It like displays a bunch of stuff for you, all for mining, which is pretty awesome. I wish I knew how to assign it to different screens. Let me actually try to do that. Yeah, so actually I might switch the cargo and the lift, but still. So apparently on the left-hand side, I guess it tells you like how much cargo you can have before you're at 100% of your thrust. Because of the heavy gravity that I have, I'm already at 62%, which is a bummer, but that's what we've been operating with this whole time. So that's pretty cool that it does that. From what I understand, the cargo, what it will show you is which ores you have. Oh, maybe that's components. And then the ores side, yeah, that makes more sense. The ore shows you what ore you have. And then the really nice thing is the gravity aligned. So when I move my ship like out of alignment, it automatically brings it back to center, which that alone is worth. I might put that script on every ship for that specific reason. All right, well, let's go mine with this new thing. I really like having this thing tell you how much stone and cobalt you have. That is a nice feature. Because instead of having to look like between the drills and the cargo containers and add it up in your head, you know, who wants to do math? This thing will just do it for you. Pretty cool. It's also cool because it gives you a reason to like be in the cockpit. Because typically I usually like fly around in third person. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh, I think it tells you over on the right hand side how long it will take you to stop. Wow, that's pretty sweet. All right, I think that we have a good amount and we're at 25% battery, so I don't want to push it. Let me go look at the screen and see how much cobalt we now have. Yeah, we have 34,000. Yeah. Oh, we're running low on iron. I mean, it makes sense. I guess let me refine the cobalt first, and then I'll start up that auto mine again. Alrighty, let's get back to building. Man, what is going on with Bob? He does not want to place blocks on this side of the ship. Earlier it was yeah, for some reason this side of the ship is fine, but Bob has absolutely no interest in placing blocks on this side of the ship. I'm a little disappointed in you, Bob. We brought you back, and this is how you repay us. Well, whatever, dude. You're out, and good old Reliable is in. The turtle. so I'll be honest about this arm. Like, on the one hand, I am having a little bit of trouble with it because I am not the best at making arms. I will say it is working, and so for that I am proud. It is a little wonky. I guess I'm like right in that like weird middle spot where like it's clunky and it's awkward and I'm just like, ugh, feels bad, man. Like, cause like I know I'm tempting claying. But on the other hand, I didn't have to weld up all this crap with the turtle, which is a huge benefit. So it's kind of that weird, yeah, whatever. I've been doing this for a little while, so I'm gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll keep working on this ship. Alrighty, friends, it's another new day, and time to work on the ship some more. I have realized two things. There's no feasible way that I'm going to be able to start and finish this ship in one episode. So I need to just get that out of my mind, because there is a lot of work still needing to be done, and if I try to rush it, I'm gonna mess stuff up. Like I'll forget gyros or something, and then all of this work will be for nothing. Number 2, do you ever have those situations where you're working on something for a really long time, and then at night you dream about it because you've been working on it for so long? I had one of those last night about this welding arm, and I think I can do better. In fact, I know I can do better. I'm gonna redo the welding arm, and then we'll continue working on the ship. So yeah. Alright, well this thing seems a little bit more heavy duty than what we were dealing with previously. So I just need to label everything. I might need an additional turret controller. But yeah, I think that this will probably get the job done. Okay, I think I have it. So if we press 1, we have control of the main elevation and the main rotation of the arm. I might need to make it a little more sensitive. Okay, and then 2 gives me the elevation for this part. In hindsight, it probably would have also been helpful to have one of the azimuth rotors here too, so we could turn it, but you know. And then 3, we have our hand, so we can drop down and weld stuff if we need a little bit of extra movement. So yeah. I'm also now realizing that it might have been smarter to put the camera closer to the welders. I just thought it would be more helpful to be able to see the rotors, but if it doesn't end up working out, then we can always put the camera somewhere else. Alright, well this took a while to set up, but I'm pretty excited to try it out. So hopefully this ARM V2 is significantly better than its predecessor. Oh, you know what? I just realized I might actually be able to set it up, so let's see. Alright, so this controls the azimuth right here, and our first, yeah, I can share the azimuth rotor for the whole crane. That'll make things a little bit nicer. Okay, tell you what. The hand, I labeled this hand. I could do without all that noise. So I'm going to get rid of that because it adds unneeded complication. And we'll just do it with the two. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just, instead of having these two rotors, I'll have a hinge so I can point it up and down. So that way, like, if we go underneath, we can still move it. But yeah, having this, like, weird full rotation thing is, I thought it would be helpful, but it's ended up being more annoying than it's worth. But then again, I don't know. Because, like, for example, this current situation right now, where it actually makes sense to have it. Okay, I've made a decision when it comes to the arm. I think it's just going to take me a little bit of time to figure out exactly how to use it best. I probably still didn't do the hand portion properly, because that still feels a little wonky. But I did switch which rotor was azimuth and which one was the elevation, and that seemed to help me a little bit. So what I've decided is, like, if there are large flat areas of steel plates that need to be welded, I can use this, but for the most part, I'm gonna reserve the crane for like really big component heavy stuff like reactors or assemblers and refineries and stuff like that. And for little steel plates, like one or two armor blocks over on the side, I think I'm still just gonna use the turtle, or I'll weld it by hand. Just because I built myself a hammer does not mean that every situation is a nail. I'm gonna go around with the turtle and I'm gonna weld up those plates and then we'll continue the build. That took a good amount of time, just trying to figure all that out. Just kidding, I will not take out the turtle because it is 100% out of battery. Dang it. You know what, I think I put a small reactor and stole the uranium from Bob. We might need another reactor. I don't understand. If I can turn it on and lift it up, and then it crashes down. Oh, well, here, let me just instead charge the batteries off of the reactors. Okay, well, while that does that, I'm gonna go grab the turtle miner, and I guess I'm just gonna have to weld stuff by hand for now. You know what's cool is we can actually just land on these wings. So, as long as I can mostly navigate, welding stuff up from up here shouldn't be too bad. This is gonna take forever if Bob isn't working and I have to keep coming down here to heal because I have to like stand on the top of the turtle. So I'm going to design a new ship that has a little survival kit on it. But first I'm going to crash the turtle. Gotta love the welding wall. Let's get back on track. So yeah, I'm going to design like a little platform that I can use to basically replace Bob, because Bob only works sometimes, which is a real bummer for sure. All right, let's do it. Oh good, a storm is coming. I don't know if I have anything to protect. I mean, we have a decoy right there, a decoy right there, a decoy up there. You would think that would be enough. We also have a decoy on the top of it still. Oh, and it still strikes me. Why not? Why not? Oh man, storms. They really get you, you know? So stupid. Oh, why not? Why not? I was full health, which means that storm had to strike me 2 times in a row, directly. See, Helghan? This is why we're leaving. You understand, if you were kind to me, then we wouldn't have to leave so desperately, but because you're so awful, we're getting out of here. Also, of course you're striking exclusively my ship. My ship and me. None of the decoys. Why even have decoys? Why? Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh man. I swear, I could have a decoy right here and it would still hit me. Oh my gosh. Maybe I just need to go inside. Fine. Fine, Storm. You win. I'll go underground. Okay, the storm is over. Oh, good. It also had to strike my welding arm. Storms are the worst. Alright, well, I guess this thing would technically be considered Bob 3. It is a little bit bigger, as you can tell. This should be a lot nicer for what we're about to do. So I'm gonna go plug it in, let it charge up for a little bit, and then we should be good to start placing some blocks and doing all that fun stuff. And it's gonna charge via merge block like Bob 2 did. We can use the same docking station. All right, so while that thing charges up, let's see if the turtle got enough charge. I think it has enough charge. Sweet. Set it to charge over here. Okay. And I guess now I'll just go around the base, fixing up things that the storm ruined. Storms. Well, we're out of iron again. So I just started up the auto mine, so it should be getting us more stone. I know that stone is not the best for iron. I just want to leave. All right, let's get on Bob 3 and get going. I gotta say though, this XVAC OS thing is so nice, especially for this kind of ship. Oh, you stupids. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I was trying to show off the fact that auto levels itself, but obviously I went way too far with it. Oh my gosh. Everything is broken. What an idiot. What a dumb mistake. Well, just learned something. The script to keep it level does work, and you can tell because when the ship rebooted, it thought that I don't know. I don't know how it figured out level was tilting backwards, but it just... Okay, new plan. Let's put this thing away. So this would probably be a good time to tell you I did blueprint it, so I can just print another one. I probably should have jumped to that conclusion 45 minutes ago.
But, sometimes I'm stubborn.
But, yeah. I'm sure some of you were probably like, oh no, he didn't blueprint it. I did. Doesn't make it sting any less, though. Why? Why? I don't understand. So dumb. I'm gonna test it. Yeah, it doesn't even look like the alignment thing is on right now. I don't know. I don't know why it just like, I don't know. But we're good. It's working. So, so funny. Friends. Hey, friends. This episode is over. I have no interest. Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, no.